Welcome to Are You Fucking Kidding Me? A thoughtful parenting podcast. The show that takes you from diaper disasters to the legendary teenage eye roll. I'm your host, Clementine Lord, here to guide you through every stage of parenting, from toddlers testing your patience to adult children testing your Wi-Fi limits. Parenting is a wild ride, and no matter your child's age, you'll always find a moment where you think, are you fucking kidding me? All right, before we get into today's absolute dumpster fire of a topic, let me just say thank you. Seriously. Thank you for your patience while I completely disappeared for 2 weeks. If you're wondering, did she finally crack? Did she run away and start a new life in an undisclosed location with no children, just a stack of books and a margarita? Unfortunately, no. What actually happened? Spring break, family time, chaos. I mean, absolute, unfiltered, no survivals level chaos. Because if you've ever attempted a family vacation with children, you already know this. It's not a vacation. It's just parenting in a different, more expensive location with less sleep and more snacks. Thankfully, this time, we all got sleep, and the snacks were amazing. So, I took a break, and now I'm back. Not entirely rested, not entirely rejuvenated. I'm just here, and that's good enough. So let's get into it. For those of you that have missed it, this is the podcast where we tackle the real, hard-hitting questions, like, why do my children treat my house like an art project, an obstacle course, and a crime scene, all at the same time? And also, why do children have the destructive power of a hurricane, but the survival instincts of a potato? Today's episode is all about one universal truth of parenting. Small children will ruin everything you love. Your house, your stuff, your mental stability. Nothing is safe. And if you are currently raising a child under the age of 5, let me be the first to tell you, accept defeat. The mess is permanent, and chaos is your life now. Today, we're going to break it all down. The myth of childproof anything, it's a total lie. The science, or complete lack thereof, behind a toddler's attention span. And why every activity they love is designed to make you suffer. The mystery stains that will haunt your home forever, and so much more. Because honestly, I could go on and on about the perils of toddlerdom. Now, normally I'd say pour yourself a drink, but let's be real, there's no time for that. So instead, grab a snack that you will 100% have to share with your child, and let's get into it. So to start this off strong, childproof is a goddamn lie. Companies love slapping the word childproof on products like they've actually met a child before. Spoiler? I don't think they have. Let's go down the list of childproof frauds. Things like indestructible toys. Lies. My kid chewed through an entire board book like some kind of rabid beaver. And one time I had my kids' friends over, and every indestructible toy we had was in pieces before the child left. Shatterproof plates, more lies. My children have broke one on accident, and I'm pretty sure they broke one on purpose. Mess-free markers? Nope. Unless they are those Crayola Wonder markers. In that case, whoever invented those deserves a Nobel Prize. Absolute genius. And spill-proof sippy cups or snack bowls, there's no such thing. The only thing spill-proof about a sippy cup is that it won't spill on its own. But hand it to a toddler, suddenly it's a fire hydrant. And those gyrating bowls, things fall out of those like they're confetti poppers. And then there's baby gates. They're meant to keep children out of danger. But in reality, I'm pretty sure they're an extreme sport. For parents, they are an Olympic hurdle. For toddlers, a rock climbing wall. One of my kids parkoured over a gate like they were on a Mission Impossible reboot until they fell up the stairs over the gate. Then there's the tamper-proof packaging. You know, a grown adult with opposable thumbs will struggle for 5 minutes to open it. A toddler? You hand them that and they will have it cracked open in 15 seconds using nothing but sheer willpower and a crayon. Moral of that story? There is no such thing as childproof. There is only child-resistant, and even that is questionable. I don't know what's happening inside my child's brain, but I imagine it's just a random generator of priorities that makes absolutely no sense. Here's what they do remember. If I eat a single cookie in the kitchen in absolute silence at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday, my child will somehow remember that shit 4 days later, and they will describe it in vivid detail. Mommy, remember the cookie you ate when you were standing by the fridge wearing your blue hoodie and you thought I didn't see you, but I did? How? How is this even possible? Or when I say, maybe we'll go to the park later, in an offhand, half-asleep moment of weakness, and my child treats it like a blood oath. 2 weeks later, when I have no memory of this interaction, my toddler's ready to take me to court. You said, Mommy! And now I'm being cross-examined like a defendant on trial. Meanwhile, what do they forget? They forget that shoes go on feet. They forget that they asked for a banana, and now suddenly they hate bananas. They forget that we do not hit people. Or my personal favorite, they will have a full, Oscar-worthy meltdown over some ridiculous problem, like having the wrong stuffed animal in their bed, screaming, sobbing, full-on emotional breakdown. 30 seconds later, they're laughing, playing, like nothing ever even happened. Seriously, where does the anger go, people? Where does the sadness go? And why the fuck can't I do this? Listen, if you have small children, I have some bad news for you. Your house is never going to be clean again. Not really clean. Sure, you might have bursts of cleanliness, brief moments where you think, hey, this isn't so bad. But don't be fooled. The mess is always lurking. Because the second you finish cleaning, a new disaster is already in progress, probably in another room. You know that feeling when you finally clean up the last bit of breakfast, wipe down the counters, and step back like, man, look at me, I did it. I conquered the mess. And then you turn around and your toddler is standing there squeezing an entire yogurt tube onto the floor. Or the time I vacuumed the entire living room, feeling very accomplished, like I was somehow beating the system, only to have my child walk in with a snack and distribute crumbs like they're sowing crops for next season's harvest. And let's talk about laundry, because it never ends. The laundry basket is never empty. It doesn't matter how much I wash or dry and fold. I swear I have washed the same 5 shirts 87 times in the same week. And no one even wears pants in the house when you have a toddler. So where are all the dirty clothes coming from? Every time I think I'm finally caught up, more clothes appear. It's like some kind of evil spell. Like if I say, I'm done with laundry out loud, a pile of socks will just materialize out of nowhere. And speaking of socks, where the hell are the matches? Seriously, I wash every sock in my house, and still, there is always a big-ass basket of tons of single socks with no partners. Where do they go? Is there a portal to another sock dimension? Are the missing socks just out there living their best lives without me? I don't know, but it really pisses me off. And the real reason we can never have nice things? The mystery stains. At some point, you just have to stop asking questions. One day you notice a weird smudge on the wall, you wipe it. It doesn't come off. It's part of the house now. I remember going to my neighbor's house once, their brand new leather couch, or a couple-year-old leather couch, and all of a sudden there were all these black marks on it. I was like, what happened? And they just rolled their eyes and said, our child decided to color with permanent marker on the couch. Now, the child didn't actually color on the couch. The child colored on paper on the couch. So now there's a splatter of dots and lines and all kinds of weird symbols on their couch. Needless to say, that couch didn't last much longer. Then there's the sticky spot on the couch, especially if you have a microfiber couch. Seriously, just let that one go. It's best if you don't investigate. And the worst one to date, the stains that you thought you cleaned up, but they keep coming back. Like, what kind of demonic sorcery is that? I scrubbed it. I sprayed it with every cleaning solution I know. I walked away feeling victorious, and the next day, it's back. How does that even happen? I have personally reached the stage of parenting where I don't even try to clean some stains. I just strategically place furniture over them. Oh, you got a new rug. No, Brenda, that's a cover-up. Oh, you rearranged the couch. Nope, Sally, that's a stain-hiding strategy. At this point, I'm convinced my entire house is held together by dried juice spills and desperation. And then there's the mysterious smells. Sometimes it's an old sippy cup that rolled under the couch, and now it smells like a crime scene of rotten, molded milk. Sometimes it's a wet towel that was hidden for God knows how long, and sometimes it's just the natural scent of toddler or teenager, which is a mix of peanut butter, sweat, and some unidentifiable funk, which again could be a toddler or a teenager. I used to be the kind of person who lit candles and bought fancy air fresheners. Now, I just walk into a room, sniff, and say, huh, that's unfortunate, and then I move on. Because honestly, the only way to have a clean house with small children is not to have small children. And until then, you just accept that your home will always have a faint stickiness, a mysterious smell, and at least one piece of furniture you have completely given up on. And maybe when these kids grow up to teenagers, you can finally start to light candles again. All right, folks, that's it for today's episode of Are You Fucking Kidding Me? A thoughtful parenting podcast. The only parenting podcast that fully acknowledges that you are absolutely making it up as you go along. And if you're currently staring at a mysterious stain on your couch, stepping on a Lego, being gaslit by your 3-year-old about what color cup they wanted, just know you are not alone. This is the life we chose, or more accurately, the life that ambushed us. So take a deep breath, accept that the mess is forever, and remind yourself, one day they'll grow up and they'll move out. And then, just as you're starting to enjoy the peace and quiet, they'll call you at 11 p.m. and ask you how taxes work. Until then, keep your snacks hidden, your expectations low, and your sense of humor fully intact. Hopefully I'll see you next time for another episode of Are You Fucking Kidding Me? Where we will continue to ask, did I really sign up for this?